Yeah, damn. I don't think... Well. Let's see if we have an unlocked Taylor Smith down there. Heck, we need to get that viewpoint anyway. We didn't get it earlier when we should have, so might as well make the trip down there. Tempio di Saturno. I'm not sure if I read this or not. Tempio di Saturno, a monument to the architectural deity Saturn. This temple stands at the western end of the Roman Forum, also known as the Aquariarium. The Roman national treasure was kept here, along with the Republic's reserves of gold and silver, like the Temple of Castor and Pollux. It is at one time housed the official scales. From this, one might be able to surmise that Saturn was not only rich, but likely had an eating disorder. Haha. You're funny, Sean. Ponte Emilio. I think I already read this too. Well, there's a chance I didn't. Let's go ahead and read it just in case. Ponte Emilio, a single arch mid-river, is all that now remains of the oldest Roman bridge in the city. It remained functional until 1598 when a flood swept away the eastern arch, and the city officials deemed it too expensive to fix. As of all the money was heading to Pope Clement VIII's execution fund. Yeah, we read this one. We read this one. I remember it now.
Criminals in here?
I had to. So. Let's actually send our assassins on a mission while we're at this tower. Alright, well, this assassin's one away from becoming a master assassin. And so is this one, I believe. We're going to try to upgrade him first entirely, because I want to do a ceremony for each and every assassin. Because I'm very fickle like that. Let's see... Nope, don't like the chances. Well, this won't level them, either of them past the point, so yeah, I'll send them on this. Man, this assassin's getting screwed. She's getting all the really low-cut missions. If I don't get the die that I wanted, because I actually redrafted my my outfit system before I started this walkthrough, but only slightly. Like, I did it based on like value of the die instead of what went on in the mission most of the time. But if this is the case, then I will probably just switch out an outfit, like a die that I'm gonna use in like probably the next sequence instead, and just do it like that. I usually have a system by the way I make these outfit systems, and they usually go by value of the outfit if you have to buy them, or specifically like if it has something to do with the importance of the type of mission I'm doing. Like main stories obviously get the most value out of everything, so I usually go from like top sequence down and most valuable to the least most expensive valuable, and then all the like other dies that are very like low in value, like they're only 100 or so. I usually put the side missions, and if there's like one that's 100, one that's 200, one's at 300, and there's just 3 type of missions left over that will, we're gonna renovate this while we're here. 3 types of missions left over that are kind of in the same level of importance, then I'll do it based on what type of mission they are, and if the die correlates with one of them, then I'll put it with that. As you're probably hearing me talk going like, wow, this guy created a complex system for something that is pretty worthless, and you're like, correct. I just did it because I found it fun to make an outfit system. It gave a purpose to each and every one of these dies and outfits, and I don't know, it gave me another reason to play the game, because I love these games that much. Let's see. Yeah, it's looking like I can't get it. So I'm gonna check one more place, because I want the Tuscan Emerald, but I don't think I'll be able to have that unlocked without burning down another tower, and I don't plan on doing that for this sequence. So, man, I almost forgot this. So I'm gonna go ahead and check one more spot for the die. If it's not there, then I'm gonna go ahead and come back here and get the Wetlands Ebony die, because that's the next most least valuable die I plan to wear for the next sequence, because it was the second most valuable die based on monetary value. La Volpe Dormentata. Did I ever read this? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already read this. But that's the second most valuable item based on how much it cost. Not item, but die. So we're gonna wear that, and then for the next sequence we'll wear the Tuscan, since we'll have we'll have access to it, I believe. And then after that we'll go to the most expensive die, because that's how that'll work out. And hell, the Tuscan die actually correlates with the next sequence a lot more. And unfortunately, the last die we wear actually correlates with this sequence a lot more. But like I said, I'm doing it based on value and not by correlation. Because I think out of anything, that's how you should do it. That's how I used to do it based on correlation, but most of the time I couldn't find anything that correlated with a lot of stuff, so I was like, ah, fuck it, I'll just put it by most value. I know this seems very tedious, but you know, it gives me a chance to just talk to you guys, to have a conversation while I'm playing this game. We'll do some challenges while we're going from place to place. It just fills time, and you know, it's just kind of relaxing to play. Just travel around. We'll find some chests along the way, do some challenges, discuss why I do things, and you know, have some fun. Sit back, we'll relax. Die close, let's see. Alright, yeah. I won't be able to get the Tuscan Emerald until the next sequence, I believe, when I plan on doing the next set of Borgia Towers, or at least that one tower. So I'm gonna go ahead and head on back to La Volpe Dormentata. I said Tata. And get the next die that I plan on wearing for that sequence instead, and then just switch those 2 dies around. Like I said, I do it on value, and I had to make a compromise, and therefore I did. And it's kind of funny because this happens all the damn time. Every time I play, I'm like, oh man, maybe this system works a lot better. Then I realize it doesn't. I actually just had to make another change for something else. But I find this fun, yeah. Hell, I think this die probably will look better with the sequence anyway. What is it? Wetlands Ebony. The dark red, not like the red and the black, will look good to the courtesans themed. Now the Florentine Scarlet, I think it's called, no, Florentine Crimson probably would, I think, ultimately connect more, because I just remember the you learning the courtesan's way in Florence in the last game, but the red will still look good regardless with this, so it works out for me, and I don't give a shit. This is actually a pretty cool die, too.
Bene, bene. See you next time.
This is actually a pretty awesome die. I just kind of feel like a badass with this on. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and head to the Rosa di Fiori and start this next sequence off. Neat tricks. Hold on a second. I'm gonna cross your finger, guys. Cross your fingers. Aw, man. This is usually a hot spot to get mugged. With those guys with the really valuable items you can use to trade and stuff. Never thought I'd say that. Aw, man, I didn't get mugged. What a pain in the ass. We already read the Rosa di Fiori. Ooh, man, there's actually a glint here. Let's go ahead and do that, to be honest. We haven't done one of those in a little bit of time. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. See what subject 16 left us.
Hey, Desmond.
Don't worry, Sean, I'm on it. Cluster 3.
Loading.
Missing.
Loading.
Access denied. Washington sits above the green. In 1944, keeping a cool head below the right one is the standard bearing 48. Behind, there is a company whose power is growing. I find myself more and more relying for a solution of our problems on the invisible hand, which I tried to reject from economic thinking 20 years ago. John Maynard Keyes. Harry Dexter White, remember this name. La cifre indefremembro. I like these infrareds. $19.10. Just a bunch of scramblings. How can I adopt a creed which, preferring the mud to the fish, exalts the boorish proletariat above the bourgeoisie and the ingesta who, with whatever faults, are the equality in life and surely carry the seeds of all human advancement? I'm just searching to see if there's anything hidden among these. Like, I know what I have to go to, but they usually hide a lot. It would all be done in secret. The assassins would never know until it was too late. Okay, well, I think that's all that's hidden, so... Obviously the flag right here. Correct coordinates found. So 0, 9. So 2 is that. 4 is this. 7 would be 0. This way. 5 is that, so we're going to move this to 5. And then 9. Oh, wait, I think that's the wrong one. Yeah, I messed up. Got that mixed around. Because I remember this a little bit. I was like, that doesn't look right. Then 8 is that. Again, that still doesn't look right. I think I messed up. And now it looks right. See, I remember some of these, so. Access granted.
Loading.
Abstergo Industries, July 22nd, 1944. Fellows, rulers, welcome. I deliver this speech to you as several floors below us a silent revolution begins. Rainey Olds and Henry Ford. As many of you know, these founders gave us the assembly line, the device we have used to control both the indoctrinated into the worship of our money, capitalists and workers, slaves alike. But I dream of the future in which such ugly change will no longer be necessary. In 1910, our founders designed the plan. It falls to us to see it through. But what of the communists who intend to spread the bread so thin that everyone will starve? It is our duty to neutralize, save them and their followers. We must ensure that they continue to eat, to reproduce, to be productive members of society. That is our burden to which shepherds those beneath us through life, and we must embrace it, even if force is required. They themselves do not. H&S brought on the turmoil and fear necessary. Now we must strike fast to ensure development countries in the proper development continues in the proper direction. We will appear to concede ground to the workers. Remember the successful ruse of Rockefeller's dimes, but soon there will be no ground we do not own. In 1937, we founded this company, this enterprise, with a purpose. The time to nurture it to fruition is upon us. I love how like their interpretation on history, using the Templars and Assassins, literally just kind of like says F you to every single like ideology in a way. It's kind of funny. Like they're pretty much saying that they're using capitalism to their gains, but the Templars, if they had it their way, they would control everyone to be on the same level in a sense, like socialism and communism, I would think. But they're saying how that communism just pretty much starves everyone, and the capitalism is making them dependent on their dime, their money. So they're pretty much trashing on both. And I think H&S, based on what they said, brought turmoil and fear necessary. It's 1994. They're pretty much saying that's Hitler and Stalin that brought fear. I don't think S refers to really anyone else than Stalin, because Stalin was known to fear, and Hitler, obviously, H spread so much fear among people. So it's just really cool to see how they involve history in a way, because I'm a big history buff.
Loading.
As a concession, a small piece is sacrificed for the greater good to come. And anyone who knows how to play chess knows you eliminate someone like that.
Loading. Quarantine zone. Quarantine lifted.
Alright, well, we got a third cluster. We can actually repeat puzzles. That's actually pretty cool. So that shows if I ever have messed up in one of these, I could actually do them. Again,
I don't know if you're looking for something from 16, but last time scanning in eagle vision seemed to help.
Alright, well, we got that, so let's go ahead and actually... Oh, shit. I'm good.
Damn street performers, freaks, all of them.
Is there anything I could do with these guys? Ooh, this should be fun. Hold on a second. I want to check the challenges. Because I kind of want to loot them for just some supplies, but I want to see if I can, like, earn anything in the process. Let's see. Show details. Arrows. I know what I'm gonna do. First, I'm gonna do a couple birds with one stone.
Are you here? Cazzo, cazzo!
We're gonna loot them for supplies, like medicines and shit. We're gonna throw 2 of these bodies into this haystack.
Killing right here in front of me.
Work towards a double assassination, smoke bomb kills, and I think we're gonna get this courtesan challenge pretty much done. There will be times where it'll look like that I got challenges done really early, and it's probably because of a bunch of off-camera stuff. You never know. There might be times where I might have messed up and I've had to go off-camera for something, and then that might be the reason. Okay, well, now that that's done, let's continue on to the main story, which I think the sequence called The Banker, if I remember correctly.
What do you want?
You spoke of a senator at the meeting.
Find him on the Campidoglio. You do not need me.
Once I kill the banker, your girls must take his money back to the underground.
Fine.
Stay alert.
Escape from debt. Visit Senator Edigio Troche on the Campidoglio to ascertain the banker's location. Full synchronization. Do not be detected while escorting the senator. Man, he was a dick to her. Then again, they're not on good terms right now, so... And we got some successful assassins back. I'm gonna go ahead and use these assassins on this mission to help, like, get that challenge out of the way. We only have to use them 3 more times during a core mission. Which we'll do like this. Awesome. I don't like to use horses.
Resurgence of Lavanaria in the Campo Marzio. Restoration and cleaning work has been
I guess I just don't like to use horses in the city. It's just kind of really crowded. And if you're a parkour person, you'd pretty much use the city to your advantage. But out in the countryside, yeah. Like, I'll use some horses for there. I like to use horses when it's convenient.
Now, where is that senator?
No more arguing. Your bill has come due.
Make an exception for an old man.
No. The banker sent us to collect.
I will have his money momentarily.
Not good enough.
Good job.
A good Samaritan in Roma. I thought they were a dying breed.
Senator Egidio Troche.
I don't owe you money too, do I?
I am looking for Cesare's banker.
Ha! Cesare Borgia. And you are?
A friend of the family.
Cesare has a lot of friends these days. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them.
I can pay.
Ma che meraviglia! He fights guards and he gives away money. Where have you been all my life?
We better get out of here.
I know a place.
Andiamo.
Edigio Troche. Edigio Troche, date of birth 1436, profession senator. The eldest of two brothers, Edigio was the son of a senator who had the bad luck of following in his father's footsteps. Described as a naive idealist in a letter from his brother, Francesco, Edigio attempted to bring back the era of the Roman commune when the Senate, the Conversatori, stood at the head of democracy, of a democracy. Problem was, the papacy wanted Rome all for itself. As the century came to a close, the Pope seized control of Rome's urban planning, public works, and finances, leaving the Conservatori with little more to do than plan festivals. Edigio, seeing his fellow senators turn a blind eye as the Campidoglio slowly became a living museum, seems to have grown jaded. Am I the only one who all of Rome who continues to seek freedom and justice? He writes in a letter dated 1494. Records kept at the Rosa and Fiore indicate he began visiting regularly in 1495. Meanwhile, Edigio's brother Francesco went to work for the Pope as his chamberlain and secretary, becoming good friends with Cesare, such good friends, in fact, that he was called one of the Borgia's most trusted assassins. A letter sent to the Venetian ambassador by Edigio in 1503, detailing Cesare's war plans for the region, reveals his hatred for the Cesare and his brother's inability to keep secrets while under the influence. He just put Cesare's name in the third person, or just with the
You're going to have to protect
Kaiser.
me, though. The guards
Been
aren't
playing
being
too
very
much
friendly, if you know what I mean.
Fallout 4. We already read about that, and oh man, look, there's a glimpse on it. We'll have to come back to this. Did I read that? Yeah, I read that.
Someone really wants you dead.
A few months ago, my brother Francesco, the Pope's chamberlain... I know, don't get me started. He told me of Cesare's plans for Romagna. I wrote to the ambassador of Venezia, warning him. But my letters must have been intercepted.
I think we just got that challenge done.
The Borgia have taken all the power. You know what it's like to not have a cazzo to do? Change of mind. I admit I've been gambling, drinking.
And whoring.
Good. Was it the perfume on my sleeve?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. You know, he's kind of right, though. You give government officials nothing to do, they do shit like that.